And we are back with toys I wanted as a child. A week late because last week I had an idea that didn't really pan out, which will come at a later date. There was a special toy that I was really excited, or a group of toys, to get that I really wanted as a kid. And the folks that hunted that down for me didn't know that I was coming to the toy show, and so it kind of was poor planning on my part. So I couldn't do that because I was going to do a live actually. But so what I decided to do today was obviously toys I wanted as a child, lunchboxes, because I mean the artwork um, and sort of playability. I mean, that's probably why they stopped making the metal ones, is because you could really you could really crack someone with it. But the artwork puts you into that situation, that movie, that television show, and it just was as great to me as toys. Now I didn't have a whole lot of lunchboxes whenever I was a kid. I can remember I had a Looney Tune one that was plastic. It was a yellow Looney Tune one, had Bugs Bunny on it. I remember that, and I feel like there was another one, but I just can't recall what it is. But I always wanted a bunch of different ones, and I never got them. And I'm not a huge collector of lunchboxes, but when you're when you see something and you see it as at a good price, or something that reminds you of something, and you're a collector, well, here you are. And this is just like six of them. I have more around the room, that I didn't want to pull away from different things. I mean, behind me is the Planet of the Apes one. I have a Knight Rider one, a Muppets one, uh, and a Fall Guy one, which is super cool. But I didn't want to pull them away from the displays because they're layered in there. So I just kind of left those alone. And I have a Hong Kong Fooey one, which is really awesome. I always loved Hong Kong Fooey. Hong Kong Fooey, number one super guy. Chicka chomp, chicka chomp. Hey, Spot. But anyway, so I just brought a couple of these, just to show you, and to show you how amazing some of the stuff was. So we're going to start with Buck Rogers in the 21st century. Now, of course, as I've said about Steve Rogers and about myself, um, that, you know, I was Steve Rogers and I was Buck Rogers. I mean, it just worked out perfectly. And so there was Buck and Aaron Gray. Gil Gerard and Aaron Gray played. Gosh, I can't. Oh, I just had a brain freeze. I can't remember what her name was. Deering, something Deering. Um, but and then there was Twiggy. Bitty 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 bitty. What's up, Buck? This is this little character right here. This robot. I think was played by Felix. Boy, I don't know why I can't remember names right now, but um, just really cool artwork on this, and really well done. I mean, I don't know enough about who did the artwork, but and I think this one does have the thermos in it. Oh, it does, and it actually has Josh Wilkmoon, who's the person that Lunchbox this was. But there is an example of a really good, a really clean uh, thermos. And of course, you'd unscrew this, and this was your pour your soup in here, and you drink your soup out of this. This is just a really awesome, something that doesn't really happen nowadays. Now you got the igloo, the big things, if kids are taking. And I can remember going to like field trips, and we just wrapped our cans of pop in aluminum foil, which seems really strange because, like, that doesn't really make sense because, I mean, that's already in an aluminum can. I never understood that, but this is what we would do on field trips. But yeah, like this is a really good example, of a lunchbox and a thermos. So that's the Buck Rogers one. Let's see what else we have. This is the Lone Ranger, the Legend of the Lone Ranger, which was quite an awful movie. Unless you were my cousin and I when we were about 7, I think. And this movie was incredible. I mean, we loved it. Our uncle took us, and right after we got toys from the toy store of this, like figures of this movie, and they used a stuntman to play the Lone Ranger, which kind of was not the greatest choice. I mean, he looked like him, but acting wise, because there was really good actors in there. There was like Christopher Lloyd and I'm trying to think who all was in there. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of really good actors, and I can only think of one. Um, but I think no, I don't know if that was. Uh, there was just a really like the villains in this movie. There was a really like amazing cast. But if I'd have had this lunchbox back then, oh man, I'd have been cooler than cool. But I did not, and this one does not have a lunch or have a thermos in it. And I know that major collectors, they always want the thermos, and of course, like anything else, it has to do with it has to do with uh, the um, the quality of the item, how pristine it is. But for me, it's just that I really love, I just really love this stuff. You know, all this stuff, pop culture in general. So this one I got from a friend of mine, Kevin, who sells toys out of Pittsburgh, actually, at a toy show. And I mean, there's actually a picture of me holding this on one of my social media things. This is just super cool. It's the Super Friends, which was a cartoon that I just loved. And there's a thermos with that, but no, but it doesn't have the little cup with it. But still, it's a very good. I can get out of there. It's a very cool example of a thermos. It's got Superman on there, and Batgirl, and the Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Robin. So cool. And it was it was more than a lunchbox. It kind of it was like your identity as a kid. You know, one of the things. I mean, there were kids that had NFL ones. I remember my neighbor had an NFL one, which I thought was super cool. And then you'd put stickers on them. A lot of people would put stickers on them. Trying to think of some others, but here's a really cool one. Like one of the first ones that I bought, and it is super clean too. I don't know if there's a thermos in there, but Pigs in Space from the Muppet Show. And I always loved this segment, Pigs in Space. I don't know why. Probably because I was a big Star Wars guy, but which was really weird because it was Muppets doing it. But this is a really cool lunchbox. And it's really clean. I had this up on a display too. But yeah, and there's the whole crew there. Miss Piggy and well, I don't know why I can't remember their names right now. Dr. Swine Pork, or something like that. But just this is a really cool lunchbox. Like I love this lunchbox, and it's up there with. I actually have Pigs in Space figures that maybe I'll pull that lunchbox back out with if I do a review of that. And then this one, oh, loved. I still do love Black Hole. There wasn't a lot of toys or anything, but there actually. What am I saying? There was a whole line of Mego. I think they thought this was going to be like Star Wars, and I have most of those Mego figures. Maximilian was my favorite, which was this big red robot right here, and I can remember my dad and I built the model, and I wish I still had that model. I remember it was on my shelf as a kid, and they all ended up in a bag just to tote out of there, but I think that it got destroyed because I've never seen it again. But I did buy another one, a vintage one that I do want to build, just in honor of that time, and I have it in the original box. But I mean, I really did. I loved building that with my dad, and probably just like whenever we were doing work on anything else, I probably not holding a flashlight, but I was probably going, well, don't we put this here? And he'd be like, well, just let me do it. But it was a great memory. But this lunchbox is super cool. I mean, it has a lot of different graphics from the Black Hole film, characters. I don't know. I mean, and you can see it went. They covered every bit of the lunchbox with just really cool scenes. You know, I mean, there's a scene when they're on the deck on the bridge, and there's the black hole image in the background. I don't know if there's. I don't think there's a. It doesn't feel like no. I was gonna say there's no. There's no thermos in there. But now here's a really special one. Okay, so a friend of mine who lives in Hawaii that I met at Star Wars Celebration, and we followed each other on social media, and his name is Jedi 808, and really great guy, and he was watching some of my videos. I used to do a lot of toy photography, and that's when we started following each other. And he does some really cool things, and he messaged me, and he was like, "Hey, do you need this lunchbox?" Because he saw me do something with a lunchbox, or maybe it was more about Battlestar Galactica. I think I was talking about Battlestar Galactica, and it was after I did the Cylon review, and I'm like, need has nothing to do with it. I'm like, I would love that. I'm like, how much? And he's like, just send me your address. And so he found this and sent this to me, which was such an amazing thing. And I told him, I said, don't be surprised if you don't get mentioned in a video. But so it's Jedi 808 on Instagram, and he's a super cool guy, and he has super cool content. Check that out. Look at that! Oh my goodness, that thing's like brand new. This kid he must not like soup because this thing is like pristine. Look at that. Has the Daggett on there, which is the little. Actually, fun fact: chimpanzee inside a suit that looked like a robot dog, and the Cylons, which were the coolest things ever. They were super cool, and I actually need to rewatch this because like Lauren Green was in it. I think he's on the Lunchbox too, from Bonanza. But I don't. I mean, like I remember some of it, and I had like the, which I'll do a review on that sometime. But I had the, was the like the launch deck, like if you will, like that would be on a ship, but it was in space, of course, and it has these foam little ships that you shot off of there, which was really cool. And I still have my original one. It's missing some pieces. That's why I had to kind of hodgepodge it together, get some different things. But look, there's Face from the A-Team, but he was, oh my goodness, Starbuck. He was Starbuck, and just some really cool characters around the time of Star Wars. A lot of space stuff around Star Wars. That's what all these on the right hand side. But it was just super cool that he would gift this to me. I was so appreciative of that, and I always will be. He's a good man, and I appreciate it. And you never see his face. He's always got something up like this. So for him, there we go. But anyway, so this was toys I wanted as a child, the Lunchbox edition. I hope you enjoyed it, and as much as I did. And like I said, I have more, but I can only pretty much fit 3 on here on each side. I mean, to get them in frame. So yeah, I mean, it was just a great time to have these